What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I want to share with you 5 tips that I wish I knew when I first started with my fitness journey. Number 1 being that progress doesn't come quick, right? You're just getting started in the gym. You're trying to figure out what kind of lifting you enjoy, whether that be bodybuilding style, CrossFit, maybe you're focusing more on endurance training. Whatever that may be, you're just trying to figure it out. You're trying to get your reps in. You're trying to get that rhythm and consistency. And consistency over time is one of the biggest things that's going to help you in your fitness journey. Try to lose that all or nothing mentality. If you miss a day or two or you mess up your diet one day, it's not a big deal as long as you keep moving forward past that. Number 2 is going to be nutrition and sleep. Now, these two things play hand in hand because if you're getting good nutrition but not getting good enough sleep, then a lot of these processes for recovery that happen while you're sleeping aren't going to take place, and you're not going to be as well nourished for that time frame. So being like, protein helps with muscle repair and recovery, but if you're not getting your sleep, that's when a lot of those processes take place. So getting adequate protein but not enough sleep is going to impact your results in the end. Fats play a big part with regulating hormones, as well as your sleep cycle is a big part in that as well. When we get less sleep, we have more cortisol, our testosterone levels go down. There's huge impacts from our training and performance if we don't give enough attention to our nutrition and our sleep. Number 3 is going to be that your visual progress is going to slow down over time, right? So the biggest changes that you're going to see in your physique or your physical appearance is going to be within, that first, 1 to 4 years, I'll say. It kind of differs from person to person, whether, on how fast you're picking things up, how consistent you're being with your training, and things like that. And also genetics are going to kind of come into play there as well for how quickly you progress. One of my favorite fitness YouTubers, Jeff Nippard, recently did a video where him and his brother both stuck to the same schedule, routine, and diet as closely as possible over the period of a year. Him being a well-trained individual and his brother being an untrained individual, and kind of showed the difference between the two, right? Jeff didn't put on a lot of muscle mass. He gained maybe like 3 or 4 pounds, while his brother put on quite a bit more. So that's a great video to help set those expectations for what to see as you progress in your fitness journey. So I'll link that video in the description down below. Definitely go check it out. It's a good one. And then next up is going to be number 4, which is there's always a chance that injury can occur. Now, sometimes this can be a big deal and sometimes not so much. I thankfully have been pretty lucky to not have any huge injuries. The biggest one being I had a lot of issues with my nerves coming down my arm. So my ulnar nerve, whenever I would do any pushing movements, especially like push-ups or bench press, things like that, tricep movements, it would like start to hit that nerve. So it felt essentially like I was like when you hit your funny bone, right? And so what they did was they took it out of the elbow area and stitched it into like my biceps. So they cut a little sliver of the bicep, stitched it in there, and so now it's like rerouted so it doesn't get compressed during those movements. But that was like a 6-week period. I was in a hard cast. I definitely had quite a bit of muscle atrophy coming out of that. But one of the things to keep in mind here is that when you are coming back out of an injury, like your progress is you're going to get back to where you were a lot quicker than it took to get there in the first place. You're going to see that progress happen faster, and just try not to get discouraged because it's going to happen at some point, whether it's minor, whether it's bigger. So just keep that in mind and try to stay motivated and consistent, work around it as you can, and don't be afraid to take that time off to get the recovery that you need, because really this is going to be a long-term investment. You're not looking for short-term gains just to make a little bit of progress, right? We want to be able to stick with lifting or running or whatever it is throughout our lives to stay as healthy as possible in the future. All right, number 5 is kind of a big one. It was a tough one for me to even now I still struggle with this one, which is ignoring everyone else and just focusing on yourself, right? Especially if you've been trying to compete in something like bodybuilding or a competitive sport that involves physical fitness, because you're literally comparing yourself to other people or somebody else is comparing you to them, right? So the big thing to keep in mind here is to focus on personal improvement in yourself. As long as you're making progress on yourself, that's the important part here. Everybody's going to progress at different rates. There's a lot of things that come into play here, like genetics. I'm a natural lifter compared to somebody who's taking steroids or something like that. There's going to be a huge difference in progress there. And if you've ever heard the phrase comparison is the thief of joy, it's very true. Like when you start comparing yourself to others, you're really going to miss out on that self-improvement and miss out on some of the joy on getting to see yourself progress over time. So try to block out everyone else as much as possible and just focus on your own journey. So those are my tips to share with you guys today. Hopefully they help you out in your fitness journey. Try to stay motivated, stay after it. Keep in mind, we're going for that long-term progress. So don't get discouraged if you don't see it within the time frame that you expected to see it. Just keep moving forward and working on it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share. All of those things help me grow my channel. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.